Hello everybody, my name is Balidago, and today we are playing Inside. Not the Bo Burnham film, but the game. This game this game is normally $20, but for this week it was on sale for $2. That is literally a 90% discount. I have been itching to play this game for a while. I will say, just so that it doesn't feel like a deception, I have seen playthroughs of this game multiple times, so I know pretty much everything that happens in this game. But from what I've heard, even doing that wouldn't spoil the experience of just playing it for myself. So, despite the fact that I know pretty much everything about this game, I am ready to dive in. And just like that, we are in. So, the thing about this game is that it is so much a pioneer of a lot of things. Like, look at the animations here. They're so, lifelike. I mean, they all blend together so seamlessly and they all look so natural, and that's what sort of mesmerized me the first time I saw this game being played. And as you can see, here's where they first start to tease you with the story here. I don't remember exactly when the first time that I played this game, not played this game, saw this game was. I'm pretty sure it was in a Jacksepticeye playthrough, and he's definitely responsible for popularizing the game for a lot of people. Additionally, for a lot of this, I'm going to try and stay pretty quiet, just to give you guys the experience as if you're immersed in this. Alright, here we go. You know, quick tangent, I saw a blog post about the lighting in this game, and there's like a whole section dedicated to this one little orange thingy right there, and how they made the light go through it. And the average player would never ever even think about that, but it just adds that extra layer of realism, and it shows that they put effort into everything in this game. In case you're telling me to go up there and talk to the people, I can't go anywhere. It's literally a side scroller, even though it is 3D. And that allows for a lot of the artistic style of this game, because they can arrange the entire game as a sort of tableau. They can make the player see it exactly as they intended. And I'm gonna let this part play out. Oh my gosh! Ooh. I will tell you right now that I've seen playthroughs before, but it does not get across how intense that feels. Now, I don't remember everything, so there probably will be parts that surprise me. Just look at this, right? Like, almost every part of this game could be a painting. And that's another thing that this blog post talked about, which is that one thing with this game is that they wanted to stay as true as possible to these like beautiful concept art illustrations. And the way that they did this was they made the game look like an illustration with the way that they textured things and the way that they designed things and the way that they laid things out in the levels. Oh gosh. Okay. Come on. Ooh. Okay. They make everything feel really tense. And you know that the game is designed in a way where you can make it, but when you're in it, when you're playing it, it really feels like you're there and you're trying to survive. Oh my gosh, he's so fast. He's so fast. Oh my gosh. It's way too fast. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Gosh. Oh no. Gosh. Oh. I really hope that slow me down. Now I know this kid has very poor lungs. And I appreciate the realism because a lot of people get upset when characters have poor lungs in games, but let's be real, like you wouldn't be able to hold your breath that long. Alright, and I think for now we're in the clear. And wow, just look at this, right? This game was, and this is part of the reason why it went on sale, is they sometimes make games go on sale when they've been out for a while. This game was released back in 2016, and it's just, they had to invent so many new technologies and do things in a way that people had never even considered before, just to make the game that they had envisioned, right? And every bit of this, you can just feel how much effort was put into it. Like, just right here, this moment is, nothing's happening right here. Like, this is not a place where you need to be. But it just is so perfectly crafted. And I'm sorry if I'm talking way too much in this, but it's really hard to look at this game and not think about all the work that went into it. You can also, and the thing is, tiny little details. You can do that and jump over it, or you can crawl through it. And somewhere in here. Right here. Okay. Now, I'm gonna be showing the secrets as I come upon them in this video. So as you can see, it's some sort of photo development room. And I want to say that throughout this video, I'm still going to be theorizing, because even though this game has been out for literally, oh my gosh, it's been out for 9 years, people still haven't really figured everything out. So I'm going to be proposing my theories as I go along. And right here, I don't want to spoil the game because I understand that probably there are a lot of people who haven't played the whole thing yet. But if you have played the whole thing, I implore you to very closely examine this room and see if you see anything that surprises you. And as you can see, there's this little glowy orb thing. And if you grab it and pull, it's so silent. And there's no explanation for what it is. There's no tutorial or anything. You just experiment around and you see what happens. And over here there's a lever and you can move it in 3 directions. And nothing really seems to happen. And we might come back to this. And we're back. And the only way that you could ever tell this was here is if either you looked it up or you listened to that subtle change in footsteps. And here we are, the chicks. So, once again, I'm going to be trying to go through this video without spoiling anything, but these chicks do help you understand the game as a whole. They allow you to know more about it. And later in the video, when we reach the part that the chicks help you understand, I will call that out. But just remember these. As you can see, we're in a farm, sort of rural area, and there's just nobody here. And the way that this game sets the stage for everything that happens, and it makes you wonder, is you see there's nobody here, but the lights are still on, and you see these piles of like pig carcasses, and you wonder what could have done this. And you will probably see in this video that I don't really remember everything, because I will get stuff wrong by not remembering how it works. I mean, that puzzle is not something that, like, something like that would not have been possible even just like a few years before this game. Just years and years of work. This game took some like 10 years to make. And they're working on another game right now, and it appears to take place on some sort of space planet thing. And I'm really excited for it, personally. And maybe I'll time this video really well and the game will come out like a week after this. Because it has been quite a while that they've been working on it. I mean, there was a gap between Limbo and Inside of about 10 years. And granted, this game could be pioneering even more technology and it might make it take longer. It would make sense for it to come out sometime this year or the next year. I'm not sure. And Playdead never like announces their games more than about a month in advance. So they could be close to finishing it, they could be halfway through, and we wouldn't know. Let's see if I actually remember how this works. There we go. Oh. Look at the little guy running behind. Alright. Let's go, Speedy. Let's go quick. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. As you can see, we lost one. And, that's also, remember this. That's all I'll say. That's all I will say. I really hope I'm not spoiling it for anyone who hasn't seen this game before. You probably have seen the game before, but if you haven't, I really hope I'm not spoiling it for you, because I would hate to do that. Here we go. Ooh, there we go. I consider this part a little bit of an homage to Limbo. Because if you've played Limbo, you know that there are these sort of worms that, like, make you act crazy or something. I haven't played Limbo. But yeah, there are these sort of... What is that up there? There are these sort of worms that make your character act crazy and move weird ways. And these worms are very similar to that. But to be honest, I think it is just an homage. A lot of people consider it to be like an implication that they exist in the same universe. But I disagree with that, because knowing this game and knowing a little bit about Limbo, you can sort of tell that they're not the same. And I actually did not know that this was here. I legitimately just stumbled upon it. So, because there are parts of this game that I remember, and there are parts of this game that I don't. And this was not one of the ones that I remembered, at least consciously. Oh, nope. Oh, I thought something very bad had happened to me just then. And I mean, you don't even really think about it, but these pigs are alive, which means that something was here feeding them. Something is keeping them alive. And it's these little details. This whole game is full of these little details. The whole game has the feeling of someone was just here. They never made it to market. Oh, man. The only bit of humor in this game. And look, it's abandoned, but the lights are still on. So it's like someone was here, but they just left. And you'll see a lot of that in this game. And with the ones with the worms in it, you have to wonder, are these alive? And I will say that this game feels like a progression. Like, this game feels like a story told in a linear order. And the interesting thing about this game is that it feels like the linear order is geographic. And I don't want to spoil too much about the game. But it feels like as you're going through these parts of the game, you're not just progressing geographically, you're also progressing through the story that this game is trying to tell. And not like time-wise, but not what you're literally experiencing. I'm explaining this really badly. It feels like you're not just seeing your story progress linearly through time. You're seeing the story of the world progress linear through where you travel. So you can see the progression of the world as you travel through it, if that makes any sort of sense. I'll explain it more in depth once we've actually seen more of the game here. Whew. That's one part I remembered, and I doubt that I would have been able to. I actually don't know what happens if it hits you. Oh, oh my gosh, it just kills you. Alright. Well, lesson learned. That is my only issue with this game, is that it really... The time before death feels very dramatic, but once you die once, it loses a lot of the dramaticness. But that's very hard to prevent in a game, because once you show the player that they are invincible, it's hard to make them have that fear again. But knowing that they have to do it some way, this is the best way to do it. Very unceremonious. And as you enter this room, You hear the sting, but you might not even really notice what that is for until you get to this next part. And you have to do this. And once it loses the worm, you can just drag it, and it doesn't, it's like it has no free will at all. It resists mildly, but other than that. And now you see what was so crazy about this room. There are people in the background. And when you wear the helmet, they move like that. And it's very, very weird. Aha, there we go. And I think I missed it, but there's a, when you start to use them, the like room lights up. The room lights up, and it's like you've discovered this whole new dimension. That is the first demonstration of the sort of layers of this game. The worm controls the pig, and you control the people. And you can tell there's something strange about the people, but they still like resemble humans. They still look human. And it makes it, well, hold on, let me just quickly talk about the lighting here. I mean, look at that. This realistic shadow and how it illuminates one side of the face. It's very stylized. And look at this. The lighting is amazing. And look at this car. Like, what caused this crash? Something happened to the windshield. Something hit the car, or something flew out of the car. Yeah, but I want to call attention to how this looks, right? Like scaffolding, sort of. Right? Almost like one of those. If you've ever been in a stage production or like a film production, it's sort of what they build the set and the catwalks out of at the top of the frame right there. So it just looks very weird. It looks like a wall was constructed more recently than like regular architecture. This game is filled with a lot of like tiny little puzzles that require things that aren't anywhere else in the game. Or like when they do reuse puzzles, it doesn't feel like the game developer reusing puzzles. It just feels like you're exploring the world and you're using the skills that you've already applied. Can I drag this chair? No. Listen to that. Ah, I thought they were going to be the chicks that we know. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I might be exhausting my topic of stuff to talk about soon. Will it let me go over the edge? Yes, it will. Wait, is there a hole down there? And the music of this game is really well designed, but listen right now. There's no music. There's no like game over sound, no like death sound, no death music. Notice that. Notice how it lingers down there for a second. Because it wants you to see that. And one thing you'll notice about this game is that the technology in it doesn't really feel like, it feels unfamiliar, but it really doesn't feel like futuristic. I mean, look at this little pulley thing. They wouldn't have this in the future. And granted, I do know a little bit more about this just because Playdead makes a lot of blog posts on their design process, and this is mentioned in one of them. This sort of like, they noted that they wanted to have a balance between the technology's time period, where they didn't want it to feel too futuristic. So for the vans, they went with sort of the type of vans that you'd see in the 80s. Oh, you can turn this. That actually is immensely helpful to know. Okay, well, not too much, but still. So what you'll find in the game is that there's very little of like, it will clearly, once again, no spoilers, but it's clear that it does not take place in the past, but it also, in this game, you're not gonna find like screens or like phones or anything. Well, you're gonna find not like cell phones. Oh, I did not jump fast enough. Yeah, so a lot of effort went into the design of the world of this game. And you may have noticed I mentioned blog posts a lot. Okay, come on, kid. What are we doing here? All right, Playdead. They don't make a ton of blog posts because that would kind of spoil a lot of the mystery that surrounds their games. But they do occasionally shine some light on their process. And if you are ever interested in knowing some of the work that goes into it, I would highly recommend checking out their blog posts because they say more than you think they would. And here's the sort of train area that we were in earlier. Wait. Oh, they're over there. Okay. Well, they're not quite at the right distance. I forgot they move like that. Oh. Likely, I need to close it while they're on this side of it. And that will yield a result. Oh, that's definitely how you do it. Okay, now, and just like that. This game is not an easy game. Oh, this is where I fell before. Okay. There's no sprint in this game, by the way. Your character only sprints when he needs to. This game is very simple, is another thing. I mean, it's complicated. It was very complicated to make. And it has a lot of complicated mechanics. But fundamentally, there's not more in this game than there needs to be. Like, a lot of games have a sprint button, and they rely on the player to decide when to use it. Sprinting is almost more of an involuntary reflex, and it doesn't really make sense to have a character who would just walk in danger. And this game is going for an element of realism. I jumped too early. Oh, well, hold on now. Jump. There we go. Now's where we go down and can jump over there. Go down further. Oh, and here we go. And look over there. You can see there's sort of lines being set up, but they're set up with sandbags. It feels temporary. It feels like they just implemented it. And the trucks don't feel like military trucks or like professional trucks designed for whatever they're doing. It just feels like stuff that they rustled together. That there are some people who are conscious, but those people don't like you. And nobody in this game really has faces, but our character sort of just doesn't have a face. But the characters we see earlier, if you look closely, they have masks on. And I want to call attention to another detail. The tape recorder down there. It's still recording. So, once again, adding to the theme of someone was just here. This entire game feels like something very, very important has just happened. And you're arriving right in the beginning of the aftermath. It feels like you've missed something. And you've got to wonder, what is the tape recorder recording? Is it trying to record you or whoever finds the sphere? And here, look at this. This city, to me, feels like these sort of... It feels like a northeastern US city, and I don't know if that's intentional, but if you've ever been to like a city in the Northeast, you know that this is a lot of times what those buildings sort of look like. Like it sort of has a bit of that adapted mill architecture and these laundry things, and you can see that water tower up in the corner, little vents still producing. Air vents that are still needing air for someone. But if we... Oh. Oh, look, a cat. I doubt I feel like there aren't many people who see that. I mean, it has that sort of northeastern city architecture, and it's a really big city, but look at these streets. They're empty. Look at the buildings that we've been falling through. They're empty. They're decrepit. I mean, whatever this building is right here, it's got like pillars and stuff. To me, it looks like it could be like a movie theater or a government building or something. And from up here, you see this line of people. And there's cameras watching them. And I mean, look, a lone pigeon. Pigeons aren't typically alone. I know that I'm probably overanalyzing this. That sounds really stupid. But like, they're typically flocks of pigeons. I mean, the only flocks we've got here are these flocks of people. And you can see how they aren't sort of walking how normal people walk. It looks like it looks like they're sleepwalking. Like their legs are moving and they don't have any control over it. And right here is a part that's in the blog, is how I'll be honest, I didn't really understand what they were trying to say. But I'm pretty sure what they're saying is that there's no ambient occlusion, there's no like global illumination in this entire game. In a lot of games, wherever you are, there will be some sort of light there. Like, not with a specific source, but everything will sort of just be a little bit lit. But they hand-placed every single light source in this game. So there's never going to be a point where there's light without a source. It's always going to be coming from a lamp, or the sun, or a window. And that means that every shadow is hand-placed as well. And I'll be honest, I didn't really understand the post, but I think what they were trying to say is that every shadow you see is just a decal on the ground, like tied to the object. Where if I do that, those shadows aren't like simulated shadows. They're just an image projected onto the ground that they did manually. I mean, you can still see them through the window there. It's just freaky. It's freaky to see people who look like people. Rats. rats. Definitely feels like a city with rats. Oh gosh. Okay, so since I already know how this puzzle works, I'm just gonna do it correctly the first try. But look right there. You can see, you might not notice it, but if you look right below my character right now, someone's on the ground, and it doesn't look like they're standing back up. And you can see people littered all over in this coil. So you might just run across and you're like, alright. Oh, well, the elevator's not working, so maybe I should go back and flip that power switch. And oh my gosh, I know how to beat this, but it still just feels so stressful. Okay. But for the benefit of those who haven't played this game before, I will show you what happens if they catch you. Everyone you encounter, all of these machines, there's no questioning, not a, how did you get here? They'll just go for the kill straight away. And there's absolutely no mercy. Frightening stuff. Well, hello, little Pidgeotto. No, I think you can maybe jump past that there. And this is terrifying, but I want to take this moment to highlight the sound design, which is that you have this constant heartbeat in your ear, which helps increase the tension. But it also lets you know the rhythm of the movement. It's da 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 da. And you can see there are people observing. And you can see how they're wearing masks. Da 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 da. There's a child right there. And if you look closely, they're wearing slightly fancier clothes. I almost slipped up there. Oh my gosh. Right. But yeah, the people in masks are wearing slightly fancier clothes. Than the people in these clothes. Yep. Oh my gosh. Oh, can't get me even if you tried, dog, and you definitely are trying. And look at this, right? trees, power lines, buildings. That one definitely looks like a mill building. Sort of similar to a lot of the stuff you see in those northeastern cities from the early 1900s onward. And you see this stuff and you just think, where is everybody, right? These trees and these buildings were there for someone. Who was it? Now, I don't actually remember how to solve this part. Wow. Oh no, hold on, no. Let's fix that momentum. Yeah. So, you gotta bring it over here so that when you... Oh, dangerous. So that you can still get back up, even moving the box over here. And I'm not gonna explain the puzzles too much, because I feel like that's kind of... It doesn't really add too much for me to explain to you how the puzzles work. And also, it decreases the chance of you going and getting the game yourself, which, by the time this video is out, the $2 deal will most definitely not still be up. But hopefully this will inspire you to get the game, even if you get it when it's at full price. I would recommend it, but I can't really talk and there's no one there. And you can see there's sort of stacks of tires that never made it to the market, just like those pigs. Yeah. And you get up here. And you've discovered a whole new level to this. In this moment, it can feel sort of mind-blowing. It can, in my opinion. Because it shows you that there... Oh, crap. Sorry about that. Because it shows you that there's no, limit. That anything can be controlled by something above that. And then anything else can be controlled by the thing above that. And there's nothing stopping anyone from... There's nothing showing you that anyone has completely free will. And there's no way to know for sure that you're the top layer. And that is, I think, a pretty integral part of this game, is the idea that there are levels of control and you don't know which one you're on. I love watching the people down there go like, wait, hold on, there's people up there. There's people up there switching off the levers, no! Just adds a little bit of humanity to, well, maybe these people aren't so great knowing what they do. And if I remember something, I'm gonna, if I remember a secret, I'm gonna go straight for it, which is what I'm doing here. I think I need some more air for this. Oh, wait, hold on. I don't think this is a secret, actually. I think that's just how you're supposed to do it. Oh, another thing that I haven't called out. The complete and utter lack of dialogue in this game. It seems like just a logistical choice, maybe, to some people. You might think, oh, well, it's just hard to get voice actors. And that is true, but clearly they don't take the easy route with anything in this game. Or a stylistic choice. But I think it also represents something about the game, which is that There don't need to be any words spoken because nobody's operating off rational thought here. Everyone in this game is operating off of instinct. These people see you, and they see that you're not wearing a mask, or they see that you're wearing red, or maybe they even recognize you. And they know, based on that, they have a knee-jerk reaction. Their reaction is that they need to kill you. And you see danger, and your reaction is you need to run, that you need to start sprinting. We don't know what the people who are being controlled think, but to them, all of their actions probably just seem like an instinctual thing. Just like how I'm driven by instinct to press this button. I mean, well, let's just think for a moment about what this place even is. I mean, look, there's someone up there. You can see someone all the way up there. But it's not crowds of people like there typically are in cities. It's just one person. And I actually don't know what this area could be. That looks sort of like a lighthouse, or like a air traffic control tower, but it's indoors, which tells me that it could be a prison observation deck thing. A lot of places in this game you don't really know what they are. Now, I'll be honest, I don't really understand it. But I fell down this hill and I got glue on my hands and I got records on my fingers. Yeah, I don't really know how this puzzle goes, actually. If I can... Oh, I get it now. Okay. Okay. So let's wait for it to get all the way up. Then we go down. Press the button. And as fast as possible, we get up over here. And we're through. There's some sort of light through there. And this game is great at showing things that happen later, very subtly. So, we don't know what is causing that light, but it's in the direction we're going. Man, that kid is really working. Oh, come on now. Come on. Alright. I guess I can't drag it off. But that's fine, because I don't think I really need to. Alright. I really hope I'm not missing too much stuff. Yeah. And you look up here, and you see that it's a train. And this really exacerbates the idea of, like, it being abandoned. Or, like, this place was built for so many people. So many people were here at one point. But now they're not. Because look at these trains. They're filled with... They're built for the amount of people we have in our societies. But in this world, there's barely anybody there. Which tells you that it's not just that there are fewer people. It's that there were many, either it's built for many people and they're still waiting for more people to come, or it was built for many people and all those people have already gone someplace else. And knowing the abandoned architecture all around, we know it's probably the second one. And in the background, you can see the train carting away all these people like they're cattle, like they're livestock, like the pigs at the beginning. And here we go, rule of threes. And here you don't even see the enemy. but you recognize the light pattern, and you recognize the sound, and you recognize the sharp motions, and you know that it's the same thing that was hunting you back in the room with the elevator. Oh crap. Let's time that a little bit better. Oh, there we go. Whew. Very, very close. And I know a lot of my videos normally have face cam, but in this video I felt like I probably shouldn't have it just because I didn't want to impede the vision of this game. And you can see this subway. Once again, built for a ton of people, but where do those people go? We don't know. Let's be thankful those dogs are unobservant. Oh, maybe not as much as I thought. There's probably a secret in that water, but I don't want to risk trying to find it. Go! Yeah, whoa. Not good. And the dogs in this game are terrifying, might I say. Everything in this game feels way too fast. It feels like you're at a constant disadvantage. And that is 100% by design. Haha. A little slow in the water, are we? I'm gonna try and give myself as much of an advantage as possible. And it can go down a little bit, but not enough to catch the king of speed, Mr. Inside Boy. However, on land, the dog is undoubtedly faster. Whoa! Oh crap, I didn't jump low enough. Right. Wait for them all to come over. Bark all you want, you're not gonna get me. Nope. You think you have a lot more time than you do. Yep, nope. Oh! Yep, best not test it like that again. Oh, come on now. You can squeeze through, you can squeeze through. There we go. And then our smart player... Oh! Wait! No, no! This TV right here is sort of a hint of the time period. The technology sort of style. But these little personal subs aren't really something that they had back then. So it's not really fully in that time period. Na-na-na-na-boo-boo. Okay, if I press up at all, it will oh, whoa. Huh, look at that. You just go lower and lower and lower. Here. wanted to let that play out for a little bit, just so that you can really see how crazy how colossal this area is. I mean, but just look at this, right? Like, this entire area filled with water. And look how far it goes into it goes so far that you can't even see where it ends. I mean, it might be hard to visualize, but this is like deeper than anything that humans have made, I'm pretty sure. Except for that one borehole thing. But you don't see this sort of scale in your daily life. And to fill an area like that with water would take so much work and resources. Unless it wasn't on purpose. Now here I think there is something. Or not. Yeah, like I said, I don't actually really know that much about this game. Right here, though, look behind us, you can see some sort of tank with a label with lights. And you can see the glass is broken. Hold on. Smallest of details. Back there you can see some vines growing, which tells you that this place has been overgrown. Which tells you that it's not something they're trying to maintain, it's just something that happens. And look, back in there you can see there's plants. I'm actually going to correct myself real quick, because I did not remember that there were plants in the tank. Which means that this is probably on purpose to some extent, but based on the fact that the tank is cracked, it tells you that something probably went wrong. Oh gosh. Woo. Oh wow, that was gruesome. Wow. I mean, it's just, this whole setting makes you wonder. Like, it makes you think, why would you want so much space to be filled with water? And if you didn't, then how did it happen? And notice how the sound of the barrel ringing or like sort of hitting the ground also acts as the music for that segment. The sort of dun, dun, dun. One thing that you'll notice about this game is that a lot of the sound effects are either act as or are in the same key as the music, so that everything sounds like it's put together perfectly. And look at this. If you remember the very beginning of the game, in the forest, this is pretty close to what it looked like with the pod. I mean, minus the sort of boxes on the trees. But that pod and the sort of foliage in the trees, very, very similar. And another thing, if you remember the scaffolding I called out earlier, the one of the sort of like, that if you've ever worked on the set, you know that that's sort of what the outside of it looks like. It's what they build it out of. You can see, if you look carefully, you can see that there is a ceiling where the trees stop, and it's curved, and you can see a panel missing up there. So it's basically a set. And if you look in the background, it continues for a really long time. And as with a lot of things in this game, you just wonder, why would they build something like this? What purpose could it serve? And why do you need a barbed wire fence keeping people out? A fence just like the ones that we saw at the beginning of the game. A lot of this makes you question stuff. Makes you think about, like, was the forest that we were in at the beginning of the game real? Because if they can fake one this big, who's to say they can't fake one as big as the one that we saw at the beginning? Yeah, but you can see some light coming through there, but you can't really tell if it's actual sunlight or if it's just light from another part of the facility. Whatever it is. Whatever this whole entire building is for. Is it even still considered a building? Because this is pretty big, and you have to wonder, who could build something like this? Who has the resources to build something this big for whatever purpose it might serve? And I am keeping some information from you guys just because I don't want to spoil the entire game. But a lot of this is stuff. I'm not going to tell you what stuff I know for sure and what stuff I'm just not telling you. Oh my gosh, that actually... I'm going to be honest. I knew that was coming, but I had forgotten where exactly it was. And me talking sort of distracted me from the fact that that was about to happen, and it did actually scare me a bit. I need to be a little bit better with that. And I will be exploring a little bit in this game, but all in all, very careful there. As you can see, and I will say one thing, which is that if you see a yellow wire, 9 times out of 10, that will direct you at a secret. And if you just follow the wire, it will get you there. Sorry if I'm being kind of quiet here. I'm not really vocalizing my process, but... Okay. Let's see here. Oh, wait, hold on. I think I got it. Okay, hold on now. He is on the top of that now, right? Hello. So now, if I'm driving it, and I launch it upward. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that actually worked. And then, this is another interesting thing here. All of the mind control helmets in this section burn out as soon as you pull that. Which means I can't get him in the tank, unfortunately. That was the main takeaway. Yeah, but as you can see, I mean, look in the background here. You've got like cranes with stuff. Are these like ski lifts? There's a dome in the background. And it all sort of looks like an experimentation facility. I've been playing this game for a while, so I might need to stop soon. But I'm going to try and keep going for as long as I can, because it's very, very interesting. Alright. Well, so I'm just going to move around a bit and assess the situation here. Because I don't remember all of the puzzles. I think I know what happens in this part. Well, I might not, actually. You don't go high enough for that. I actually don't know how to do this. I think maybe I might need to swim through here and then come back to this section. Oh, no, that's not a way through. This game can be quite dark at times, and I don't mean like subject matter dark, I mean like visibility dark. It can be without light occasionally. Oh no, oh no. Oh no. Okay, yeah, wow. Don't think I quite understand how to do this part. Oh, I see. Alright, I need to bring the sub on this side, and then I need to get out and swim my way over, probably on the surface so that I don't drown. And I have an idea of something that might be coming up. Yeah. Throughout this game, you guys might be thinking, oh, well, this looks a lot like Little Nightmares. And I've heard people say that. I don't particularly agree, because I think that graphics-wise, it is very dissimilar. I think the only reason why people really say it's similar is because they both have, like, a small child escaping unspeakable horrors. Well, maybe some are more speakable than others. Escaping unfortunate things. Here we go. This is very Little Nightmares-esque. Sorry if I'm not talking too much. This section is quite stressful. Oh, oh no, oh no. Crap, crap, crap. Yeah, not the best. Up, 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 up. Da, 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 da. No, 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 no. There we go. And now we can blast up here without getting attacked. And once again, we're in one of these big open areas. This is, I think, where we're supposed to go. I'm gonna go the other way. Aha! There is something over here. I'm not quite sure how to get to it, though. Oh, wait, that might be a clue. Aha. I hope this is the secret way. Okay. I was like, I hope I haven't accidentally just found the way through. But, look at this. A plant breaking through the enclosure, and they sort of tape the glass around it. So, things started to go wrong, but people just repaired it. And they'd rather leave the... I'm definitely overanalyzing this. I'm going like full English teacher mode. But they'd rather let their experiments go out of control to see the results than stop them early. That was a total overanalysis. Skipping stones at the beach. A tableau. This whole game is a tableau. Everything in this game is a tableau. Like, take a screenshot of pretty much any part of this game, and it could be a painting. That's how good this game looks. Alright. Let's progress. Now listen to that. Listen closely. I'm gonna stop talking so you can hear it. Something is making a booming sound. And if you've played the game before, you know what it is. Oh. Let's let our butt out here. Except we can't. Because we don't have enough power. I mean, look, it's shaking everything. Look at that vent in the top corner. Look just how much force is coming through there. It's shaking everything around, and look how big this facility is. It feels like it's shaking the whole floor. Alright. And you just want to go out there, but if you step too close to the door, it's so strong that you get blown back. Okay. Alright. I have to force myself to stop at some point, and I said I would stop once I finished the underwater segment. So I am going to take a break here. I'm not sure if this will be a break for another video or not, but I will be coming back to this for sure. If this is for another video. Everybody, thank you so much for watching the first part of Inside. This game is not that long, so it probably only takes like one other second part for me to get through this entire game. But I'm for sure gonna finish this, because this has been amazing so far, and I like they said, like I've heard, seeing a playthrough of it just doesn't do it as much justice, so I would highly recommend getting it for yourself. Alright, so I'm gonna take a quick break, and everybody, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video, which will likely be another Inside video. That's it for now. Bye-bye.